music real quick.
I don't really felt like, oh, I already stuck my hand in paint. I haven't felt like talking much lately, so hope you all don't mind. Sure you won't, because there's only a few people that watch these anyways for right now. But eventually I know people might go back on these and watch through them because they might want to see how I did something or... fuck if I know. I'm really doing this to eventually, hopefully people will want to hang out. I'm going to try to do these around this same time, 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every day during the week, this is, or at least as much as I can. I don't know if I'll be able to do it every day. You know, just something. I just want to be able to hang out with people while I do art, but I don't necessarily want to go anywhere. Because I don't want to have to take all the fucking time to go to a place that's not comfortable for me. Try to do that stupid live painting stuff. Like, I admire the people that can do that because I cannot stand it. I can't paint just fucking wherever. People always come up and they always say something and distract me and shit. And I feel like I have to explain myself to them. See, like, with this, it's a lot easier because I don't have the expectation of a response. There is no one that's going to be talking to me right now. So I can actually just say what's on my mind without having to try to qualify what I'm saying to the person. A lot of times I feel like, and I think this might be a character flaw that I should work on, is how I edit the way I speak. I tailor it to the person. And that ends up creating, you know, like a way of them understanding me better, but also a bit of a barrier because it's a barrier for them to understand me because they don't understand me for actually me. They understand me for the edited version that I created to be able to interact with them on their level. Because it's a lot easier, at least for me, to go to adjust myself to someone else's level than for other people to try to understand me, I've noticed. And maybe that's just because I'm having communication skill issues and I should work on that, but I've been working on it for a while and it seems to still be an issue. That doesn't mean much. Yeah. Eventually, it'll be better communication. But I don't think that anybody's going to understand me in the way that my soul feels like it wants. I mean, there's some people that understand me to an extent, but you can never understand a person from their first person perspective. That's just reality. You know, if we understood someone from the first person perspective, we would be them. But we're not. We're someone else. We are having a different experience. But is it really all that necessary to be understood? I mean, I guess to an extent it does, because right now we have, you know, stuff that if there is misunderstanding, shit could blow up, you know? I'm not talking about war as much as I'm talking about just malfunctioning of, like, machinery of a power plant. That's a pretty fucking big deal, I would think. But I guess you have to have understanding to a certain degree. But then, at a certain point, a level of resolution is somewhat irrelevant. Like, it's like using words to go from 4K to 8K in terms of meaning. Like, say you have a 4K TV, and the difference between that and 8K. An 8K is way better looking, supposedly. But really, honestly, I can barely tell the difference between a 4K TV and a 20 or and a 1080p. And you know what? I grew up with, I think it's 510 lines, what used to be the high def for, TVs that were lines. And that was just fine. I could still understand what was going on in the movie. I could understand the premise. I could follow the plot. And that's, I guess, that's the essence of flowery language, is just an added resolution to the image you're trying to create in someone else's mind. But, like what's his name is famous for saying, don't use, was it Mark Twain's thing about using, or don't use a quarter word where a dime word would have worked, or don't use it, something that cost a dime, don't use fancy, the essence is don't use fancy stuff unnecessarily just to show off how smart you are. You want to be understood at the level that actually makes sense, and no more than that. But then that is a bit of a bummer for people like me that are a bit of over-explainers. Like, we have a hard time believing that other people truly understand us, and so we think, oh, well, no, you didn't get it, so I have to say all these extra words on top of it, when most people actually completely understand us the first time. It's just that we have a hard time trusting other people, because probably in the past we've been misunderstood to a degree that we had to explain ourselves so much. But even then, does that matter? I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit nihilistic today. Not really. That's not what it means. But I think y'all understand what I mean. I'm in a mood. Which is fine. We all go through moods. Moods affect us in different ways. They shape how we interact with our environment. Whether for better or worse, it's kind of hard to tell. Because in the chaotic order that is beneficial and non-beneficial happenstance, it's impossible to untangle what's good, what is the good choice versus what's the bad choice. Which one? Which path do you choose? What mask are you going to wear? Let's say you chose this one. This unlocks a whole new path. A bunch of other things that can happen. Some of them will benefit other people that needed that. Some of them won't. Some of it will hurt other people that should have been helped. But some of it will hurt people that should have been hurt for what they, how much they hurt other people. Or what other people consider justice. Trying to balance out how much good, I guess, is in the world, when really there isn't a good. Because say, well, let's choose this one. Let's go over here. Let's do this decision. All these different possibilities unravel, but all of them affect people in one of these two ways: beneficial, harmful. Something that takes a piece away, or something that adds a piece. But in the end, all these pieces are just flip-flopping back and forth between these two choices, or these two, I guess, pathways of consciousness, the two threads of fate. Your fate isn't just one strand. It's tangled and interwoven with so many other fates, so many other lives. It's impossible to really say there is a true and essential you. Because everything that you do affects everyone else, and everything that everyone else affects you to degrees that are beyond your control. I don't really know what I'm talking about. Just some fucking dude that reads too much petty stuff beyond his understanding. But I guess that's the essence of being a beginner. You're not going to understand any of it when you're going into it. But you can learn some of the things. I think I have some understanding. But even that could be illusory. Because to truly understand a thing as it is, you must be that thing. And I'm only me. So I can only truly understand me as me. I think Hegel would say, me qua me. You know, as the thing in itself. Oh man, I freaking hate Hegel. His work is just so painfully hard to read. Brilliant mind, weird dude. Definitely smarter than I ever could have been. Oh, that looks bad. I don't like that. Now to finally use a different brush. And this whole time I have just been painting with that. For this entire thing. Oh, that's more on it. So now, I'm going to do the hands. I'm going to use something else. I have no clue. What am I? Maybe this. Maybe this. This seems nice. As you can tell, I am not the type of person that paints from like an academic understanding of, you know, you use this certain thing to achieve this effect. You use this particular fucking brush to do this. You mix only these colors. You only do these certain things, or else you know you're breaking the rules and it's not really. Yeah, I read all that shit. It's it's there's a degree of, I think, pomposity that comes in when you I don't know. Since I seem to have a almost nihilistic take on endeavors, because in the end they are not necessarily meaningless because you create your own meaning, but they are inherently trivial in the grand scale. That is a good word. I won't say they're meaningless, but trivial in the grand scale of what's actually going to happen, what's going on. Like, all my stuff is eventually going to fall apart. It's all going to disappear. Everything. Van Gogh's work is going to be long forgotten one day. Everything I can create will eventually become nothing. I mean, I don't like that. Yeah, but that being said, I enjoy creating. I don't create to like make something that I think is like going to change the entire universe, because that happens no matter what. Everything you do affects everything in how my holistic view. But I create because I enjoy this. I enjoy this process. I enjoy being able to share my thoughts with people via visuals. I do it because of the joy of the action, not for the lust of results. But I feel like a lot of what we do is because we're trying to. Well, throughout time, humans have. What's the word I'm looking for? Lusted after the idea of immortality and endless, meaning. We had the poem by Shelley about Ozymandias, look upon my works, ye mighties, and tremble at stuff, where it's that the feet of a statue, was found in a desert alone, or according to the little story, the feet of a statue was found in a desert alone with an inscription saying, "I am King Ozymandias, look upon my works, ye mighty, and tremble." And there was nothing in the desolate desert. And it shows kind of the hubris of the idea that you can even be immortal or create something of true importance when importance itself is not a real concept, I guess, There's no such thing as important. There's only what is being done and what is affecting whatever. Importance is a quality that the individual puts on the thing. Maybe. I don't know. I'm speaking out of my ass. I think that. Well, I guess the fact that I said even think confirms it. Most of what I say is opinion, because most of what I like talking about cannot be founded necessarily in demonstrable fact for me at the moment. I don't have the time, nor the resources, nor the energy, nor the will, nor the motivation to really put in the actual effort I would need to do the research to back up everything that I said. And I'm not talking about research by like Googling things. That's not research. That's Googling things. Research as in actually doing a test, finding results, seeing if my how my hypothesis holds up against the real world results. I don't have time for that. So most of what I know and say is opinion held by me. I was looking at the definition of opinion earlier today, because I love looking at etymologies of words. It's really one of my nerdy joys, I guess. I don't even know if that's nerdy. I think that's just fucking weird. I forgot where I was going with this. It doesn't matter. Oh yeah, the whole idea of things do or don't matter. But people have an emotional connection to things, and unfortunately, because of that, a lot of people expect you to be also emotionally attached to the same things they are because they consider that just normal. Because most people actually don't. Let me rephrase that. Within the amount of people I have encountered, it seems like many people don't necessarily take the time to consider something from someone else's point of view, or even try to take time to not even think of other people's point of view, but completely take themselves out of their shoes. Like religious people, I don't really find too many of them putting themselves in the position of atheists, or atheists putting themselves in the position of religious people and trying to understand them from a first person point of view with empathy. That being said, oh fuck, that distracted me. Now I forgot my train of thought again. I love my music, but sometimes the noises make me lose my train of thought. Whatever, it'll come back to me. That. I appreciate all the people that have been very patient with me in my life. I feel like, oh yeah, because I was talking about opinions. A lot of what I say is opinions, so I've become, to a degree, opinionated. Because opinion is, as I was saying, something that I learned earlier today. It comes from a word that meaning to like. I can't even remember. In essence, it means you don't actually know. It's something that you believe without evidence. You don't actually have. You don't have any evidence to back yourself up. That is an opinion. Oh, it's time. It's time, everybody. Well, let me just stop this real quick and touch this up a little bit. seconds to. But because of that idea that a lot of what I say is opinion and conjecture, I know that what I believe or say may be wrong to a degree, but I also hold it with confidence because of my belief, because that is the feeling that I have. That's the choice that I am making because of that feeling. But unfortunately, you can't get around that in life. Even people that think they are extremely logical are inherently blind to their own emotions, because all decisions, everything is emotional. We just code it with rationality in order to fool ourselves and make the excuse that saying, oh, I don't know, I did this because I thought this through. This person just reacted, because we like to qualify other people as somehow not getting it, and only we get it. But that's probably a common human trait, at least from my understanding. Which is, I deal with that daily. I try to keep myself humble. Because I know that I don't know, and I know that even if I did know, it wouldn't matter. Whoops. Yep, just drop my brush all the way in the water. Okay, well, I'm done for today. And I guess I'll catch y'all later. Have a good night. And all that stuff.